guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a part 2 of my favourite recipes from the Wellness That Works Weight Watchers app. Because my first one went down so well with you guys, I thought I would make this into a two-parter, and I'll probably do them on a regular basis if I'm honest, because I'm constantly discovering new recipes on there. You guys will know if you watch my What I Eat in a Day videos, a lot of the foodie inspiration that I get comes from that app, and a lot of the recipes that I do, a lot of the meal planning comes from there. So if you haven't checked out my What I Eat in a Day playlist, I will link it down below. And speaking of foodie inspo, this video is even more of an exciting one because it's actually going to be a collaboration with a bunch of guys that are also on the WW plan. We're all going to be sharing our top 5 recipes from the app that we've been loving, and they're such a lovely group, and I met them all through the ambassador program. I'm going to link everybody's videos and their channels down below so you guys can go and check them out, especially when it comes to looking for inspiration and people that are doing the Wellness That Works plan as well. But with that being said, I'm just going to talk about 5 other meals that have definitely caught my eye on the Weight Watchers app. And the first one, and I feel like a lot of you guys are going to be expecting this to feature because it is one of the best, and it is the stuffed peppers. Now, stuffed peppers might seem quite simple. It might seem like something that's quite boring, but actually you can go to town when it comes to customizing these to your liking. You can stuff them with chicken, you can stuff them with mincemeat, you can stuff them just with veg, with cheese, with mushrooms, like literally the possibilities for a stuffed pepper are quite endless. And I know that I'm getting excited about peppers and it might seem a bit unnecessary, but until you've tried them and you've cooked them and you've crisped them just right and scattered them with melted cheese, it's the one. It is heaven. You have to try them, especially if you're a fan of stuffing vegetables. I think there's nothing better than a stuffed vegetable in my opinion, because again, you can get so creative with it. It's a fun one for the family, very inexpensive to do as well. So if you're on a budget, it's a very budget friendly recipe that you can again really tailor make to your situation. So that is one that I really enjoy. Point value of the stuffed peppers is 7 points a serving, and I'm going to pop all of the ingredients of each of the meals that I'm mentioning down below in case you guys don't have the app yet or you want to try them and you don't have access to the recipe because you're in a different country or whatever. I'm going to link them down below. You guys go crazy. Make sure you do give it a try. But yeah, the stuffed pepper one is divine, a must try for sure. The next one is going to be, I mean, this is one of my favorites, and it's one that I don't think has gone live in my What I Eat in a Day video yet because that video is still coming. It's coming this week, so you won't have seen me cook this yet, but I've had it a fair few times, and it is the sausages and caramelized onion with cauliflower mash. I mean, doesn't that sound like incredible? I mean, you can't really get better than bangers and mash, can you? And it's so amazing that we've managed to get one on the app that's going to be point friendly, easy for you guys to track, easy for you guys to point, and very simple to make. So this is basically some reduced fat pork sausages. You don't have to use reduced fat, but just make sure you're scanning your barcode. Make sure you're doing all that if you're using any alternative ingredients and editing it and all that jazz. If you haven't seen a video on how to use the app and how you can edit and that kind of thing, I will link my app video above where I talk about all that kind of thing and what you need to do in that circumstance. But yeah, you need some sausages for this recipe, and you basically just fry them off, brown them, put them into the oven, let them sizzle away gently whilst getting on with the best onion gravy I have ever tasted. And I can do a wicked onion gravy generally, but this one, the fact that it was healthy as well was just insane. So red onion, balsamic vinegar, soft brown sugar, all those lovely juices all together in the stock, and it was just incredible in a pan. And then the substitute for regular mashed potato mash was cauliflower mash, and I wasn't on board for that at first. I thought I'd just rather have regular mash and point it, but I thought no, I'm gonna give it a try because I do like cauliflower. I just don't mix it with cheese or anything like that. I'm more of a traditional when it comes to cauliflower. But it was so good. The texture wasn't as mash-like, it wasn't like mash. It was a bit more crumbly, but it was still amazing, especially when you mixed it in with the gravy. The texture was quite similar. And I really enjoyed it, and actually I wasn't expecting to enjoy that as much as I did, so it was a really pleasant surprise. I love bangers and mash generally, so I wasn't like expecting it to rock my world just because I love the original so much, but actually I can definitely convert over to the Wellness That Works version because it was mega, especially that onion gravy. It was insane, so I do love that. And when it comes to point value, the sausages was 7 points and literally tastes like heaven, so definitely check that one out for sure. Again, I'm going to put everything you need in the description box, make sure you're checking it out. So the next one is going to be the paella that I did very recently actually, and even though I've only had this once, because I enjoyed it so much, it's going to be a fantastic opportunity for me to get really creative, like with the stuffed peppers. It's the kind of recipe that you can really play about with and add things in, take things away, use different meats, use different veggies, and it's just again a great way to make it and customize it to your liking. So we really enjoyed that. We actually had it with chicken, but I'm really looking forward to kind of doing it with perhaps some sausage. I think it would be a great way to incorporate some new things into my diet. So that was one I really enjoyed, and it was, the texture of it was so creamy and tangy at the same time. It was like a fusion of different flavors that I really enjoyed, and the texture of it ended up coming up perfect. So that was one we really liked as a family, and that was only 8 points a serving. It was basically a chicken and vegetable paella. I actually used risotto rice because I couldn't find on the day when I was shopping paella rice, and I believe the only difference between the two rices is that paella rice is slightly creamier, but actually I found it to be amply creamy, really flavorful, and with the lime that I squeezed on it at the end, it just made it, and it tasted like holiday. It was so nice. That is definitely one I recommend, and that is a great one as well for batch cooking, or if you're cooking it for a big family. It's one that it's just as easy to do it for 10 people as it is to do it for yourself, so it's a great way to get a really nice portion of it in your freezer for meal planning and for batch cooking and that kind of thing. I did a video on meal planning very recently. I'll link it above in case you haven't seen it, which shares my tips and tricks when it comes to batch cooking, slow cooking and meal planning, so definitely go and check that out. But yeah, the paella was one of my faves. A very nice meal indeed, so definitely check that one out. The next one is going to be a curry, and I feel like for me personally, we have some kind of curry at least once a week. I find it a fantastic way to use up veggies that are in my fridge. I find it a fantastic one, again, for meal planning, for batch cooking, and I do like a curry at least once a week, again, for warming reasons, and just it's such a hearty dish. It's one of my favorites, and it's one that you can, again, really customize. And one that I really enjoy from the app is the beef curry with turmeric rice. So I've never had turmeric rice before, and it blew my mind. Normally the most adventurous I tend to get with my rice is having a mushroom rice or a biryani, but actually the turmeric rice added such a nice kick of flavour to it and such a beautiful amber colour that it just looked so impressive. Loads of aromatics going on in there, loads of fusion of flavours. It was one that was definitely to impress your friends, like if you're hosting a dinner party, if you want something slightly different, if you want to have a play about with flavours and aromatics, that is one that I would definitely recommend. And again, it's such a warming one, such a comforting one. And I had it with the rice, but you could also do accompaniments. Like I made a dip to go with mine that I really enjoy, like a garlic mayonnaise dip that just complemented it beautifully. So that is definitely one of my favorites, and that came with a tag of, when it comes to Smart Point, it's actually called the beef masala with turmeric rice, and that is one of the more expensive when it comes to point value. It's 11 points, but I kind of feel like for an evening meal, 11 points is not too much to ask for, so I really enjoy that. So many wonderful additions to it. You have the coriander, the garam masala, the chili flakes, the turmeric, the ginger, the garlic, and they all infuse together to create something really warming, rich and wonderful. I definitely recommend from me for sure. And the last one that I'm going to be talking about when it comes to recipes is one of my favorites, and actually again, I don't think this has gone live yet for a What I Eat in a Day. It is coming very soon, but if you guys want to get a headset of the game, you want to make a start on it and have it before then, it is called the slow cooked lamb and spinach curry. I mean, I know it's another curry, but again, I love a good curry, so they're just my favorites, what can I say? But this one is basically a slow cooked lamb, and it has spinach in there, loads of wonderful textures and flavors. It is quite a sweet kind of curry as well, and I just love it. And it's 9 points, which again is perfect for your evening meal, but it's a great one to batch cook as well. And I find that 9 times out of 10 we will have a chicken curry on the most part, so it was really nice this time to get some different meats involved, like the beef that I've just mentioned and the lamb. It was just a nice way, because normally you would think to stay away from red meats when you're on a plan, but actually they can be incorporated very easily, and I just really enjoy it. really lovely flavors. I love spinach anyway, but it was just one that was just full of like ginger and garlic and passata, and it was just really warming. Again, very comforting, a great one to batch cook, a great one to cook for the family, especially if you have little ones that you're slowly trying to introduce to curries. This one doesn't have, I mean, it's got a lot of flavor, but it's not spicy. It's not something that they're gonna struggle with in terms of textures, because there's a lot of smoothness going on. It's very rich and it's just really delicious. My children love it, which is great. So yeah, that is definitely a favorite in our house, and one that I will continue to make on the regular because it just went down so well. So enjoyed hearing my current 5 favorite foods when it comes to the recipes on the Wellness That Works app. Again, I'm gonna do these fairly regularly because, as you know, I use that app all of the time, so it makes sense when recipes stand out to me and when I really enjoy things to share them with you guys, in case you've missed the What I Eat in a Day that they featured in, or you haven't had a chance to try them, or you wanted kind of a mini review of what they're like. So again, thank you so much to everyone who's took part in this collaboration. I will link everyone down below. Make sure you can go and check out their videos as well and say hi from me. And also, let me know any recipes that you guys are loving from the app that I can try, because I love hearing from you, and I also love your recommendations. So make sure you comment down below and let me know and say hi. Do not be a silent viewer. I want to hear from you guys. I reply to everyone, so make sure you say hey. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new to see more content like this from me, along with beauty, fashion, lifestyle, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.